This silence wasn't rejection. It was recognition. Heaven hid you in plain sight, not because you were forgotten, but because you were forged. They didn't ignore you. They were blinded by what they weren't ready to see. So you walked rooms where eyes followed and mouths stayed silent. You felt it. The pressure, the invisible weight, the questions unspoken. Why is everyone watching me? Was it admiration, or was it surveillance? Were they drawn to your light, or waiting for it to burn out? Is this attention a threat, or a throne being prepared? Chosen one, stay with me, because in the next few moments you will uncover the 8 divine reasons why the world watches you in secret. Not with understanding, but with spiritual suspicion. Your life has always been watched, but now you will finally know why. This is not just a message, it's a scroll, one that was sealed with mystery. And today, God is unsealing it through you. Welcome to Chosen One's prophecy, where the hidden are revealed and the marked are gathered. Genesis 37:11 says, "His brothers were jealous of him, but his father kept the matter in mind." Even Joseph's dreams stirred surveillance. Even divine favor made people watch more than they listen. You've been followed not because you're weak, but because your presence threatens systems that pretend to be strong. So, stay. Because the signs that are about to unfold may not just explain your pain. They may confirm your entire identity. You carry the frequency of heaven. You felt it your whole life. The quiet shift in atmosphere when you enter a room. The pause, the glance, the invisible weight. It's not charisma. It's not ego. It's frequency. You carry the sound of another realm. A resonance not born from earth, but from eternity. The way you speak, the way you move, the way you simply exist. It vibrates at a higher dimension. And spirits, both holy and hellish, know it. They sense what's on you before you open your mouth. Because heaven doesn't wait for you to be loud, it marked you to be present. When Mary walked pregnant with promise, even the unborn John leapt. What you carry makes realms respond. You weren't overlooked, you were encoded, and this world has always been listening. Do you feel it now? That stillness rising? That's the frequency of heaven. And you are the vessel. You trigger the unhealed. Your presence is a mirror, not the kind that flatters, the kind that reveals. You walk in wholeness, not perfection, and it causes others to confront what they've buried. Their stares are not always hatred. They are confusion, pain, longing. You awaken what they've suppressed. This is why the crowd cheered Jesus on Sunday and crucified him by Friday, because truth disrupts what trauma has numbed. You weren't rejected, you were revealing, and they didn't leave because you were broken. They left because you were whole. When you walk in light, shadows rise in others, and many would rather extinguish the lamp than confront their own darkness. So, when they stare, know this: it's not about you, it's about what your existence confronts. And the more healed you become, the more uncomfortable they'll feel. You remind people of what they lost. Your confidence whispers of freedom. Your smile feels like peace. Your silence sounds like clarity. To those who abandoned their calling, you are a living reminder. You represent the path they chose not to take. Like Joseph standing before the brothers who sold him, you are the echo of the dreams they buried and the fulfillment they forfeited. This is why they avoid eye contact. Why the energy shifts when you share your vision. Why celebration of you always feels restrained. You remind them of what they could have been, had they not bowed to fear. But hear this: you are not responsible for their delay. You are only responsible for your obedience. Your rise is not their downfall. Your light is not their shame, but you were always meant to awaken their memory. You're protected in ways they can't understand. There were meetings, conversations, plans to sabotage your name, to crush your confidence, to curse what you carry. But nothing worked, because your life is not guarded by popularity. It is guarded by prophecy. Elisha's servant panicked at the enemy's army, but Elisha saw what the servant couldn't: fire on the hills, chariots of angels. Chosen one, there are assignments against you that were interrupted by unseen hands. You were preserved, not because you were lucky, but because your scroll is still unfolding. And now they watch in confusion. How is she still standing? How is he still rising? What force protects them? It is the force that spoke to Moses from fire, that shut the mouths of lions for Daniel, that overshadowed Mary with glory. Your protection isn't normal, because your purpose isn't either. You awaken spiritual hunger. People don't understand you, but they can't stop listening. Your words feel like answers to questions they never voiced, because what you carry is not just information, it's impartation. When Jesus walked the earth, he didn't just teach, he stirred, he provoked. He made spirits tremble and made hearts burn. That's what happens when you speak. The atmosphere shifts. Old wounds begin to throb. Buried callings begin to stir. You awaken something ancient in others. You're not just being watched, you're being searched for. People want to know you, because through knowing you, they believe they might rediscover themselves. If this resonates, comment 444 now is a prophetic sign that your light is still shining, and heaven is still moving through you. You walk in unexplainable wisdom. You speak with weight, not volume, but weight. Your insight pierces confusion. Your silence carries understanding. People try to figure you out. They wonder, how do you know what you know? How are you always aligned, even when it looks like you're behind? They don't realize you learned in caves what they tried to find in classrooms, like David writing psalms in caves, like Joseph interpreting dreams in prison. You carry revelation from isolation. This wisdom wasn't inherited, it was infused by fire. That's why people are drawn to your counsel. Even those who once doubted you now listen in silence, because the wisdom you carry was paid for in tears. You are a signpost of divine timing. Your arrival is never random. You speak what others have only whispered in prayer. You show up when breakdown is moments from happening. You carry confirmation wrapped in human skin. When Esther stepped into the king's court, it was at the very edge of her people's destruction. You move the same way, not early, not late, but divinely timed. That's why people are glued to your life. Because your footsteps carry signs, your voice echoes seasons, your decisions shift atmospheres. They don't follow your content, they follow your timing, because something in them knows. When you move, something is about to shift. You are the proof that God still chooses. You don't come from pedigree. You weren't voted in. You didn't audition for favor. You were chosen. Your life confuses systems. You were supposed to be broken, but you're still rising. You were counted out, but heaven counted you in. You are proof that God still interrupts the ordinary to release the extraordinary. Like Gideon, you were found in hiding. Like Mary, you were overshadowed without warning. Like Moses, your voice was once uncertain, but your mission was always burning. And now they watch, because you are walking evidence that God still anoints, still sends, still empowers. You are not perfect. You are positioned. You are not famous. You are favored. And your very existence disrupts darkness. Darkness confrontation. Why, hell watched you early. Before you could walk in your calling, hell tried to crush it. You were targeted as a child, not because you were weak, but because you were weaponized. The warfare wasn't random, it was reconnaissance. Demons recognized your scroll before you could read it. And so the attack began early. Sleep paralysis, unseen eyes in dreams, sudden betrayals, family wounds, identity confusion. Why? Because if they couldn't destroy your purpose, They would try to make you doubt it. But here you are, still standing, still glowing, still carrying light they couldn't extinguish. Chosen one. Your resistance was not proof of failure. It was confirmation of power. Hell doesn't chase the average. It hunts the anointed. And you have always been watched, because you were always dangerous. You weren't being watched because you were lost. You were being watched because you were located. Heaven knew exactly where you were. Hell feared exactly who you were becoming. And earth could feel your arrival. You are not just seen. You are set apart, not for applause, not for attention, but for assignment. The eyes on you were not your enemy. They were your evidence, proof that something eternal is unfolding through you. You didn't imagine the tension. You weren't overthinking the stairs. The atmosphere really does respond when you enter, because you don't walk in your name. You walk in His authority. You are the living echo of a scroll unsealed, the breath of prophecy clothed in skin, the proof that God still hides His vessels before He reveals His glory. You have been watched. You have been weighed, and now you are being welcomed into your next dimension. You have been marked. You have been forged, and now you are being sent. If this word found you, stirred you, confirmed you, comment 777 now as a seal. Let heaven and earth witness your agreement. Share below what part stirred your spirit, which sign opened your eyes, what truth whispered, "That was for me." And if you feel the call, stay close. Because Chosen One's prophecy is not just a channel. It's a sanctuary for the scattered, a gathering place for those who have always been watched, but never truly seen. Subscribe. Return. Stand with the remnant. You are not alone. You are the next echo.